So we are now present in Rwanda as Coded Rwanda, but representing a global movement and other offices of Coded in different countries. So we work on two interventions. One is the humanitarian and development. But here in Rwanda, Coded focuses on development, where we have, like our main intervention is the financial inclusion and access to finance. So we deliver these through three different approaches. The first is market system development, whereby Coded is acting as a facilitator. When we go in the agriculture value chain, we facilitate cooperation and partnership between actors. And we also promote digitalization. So as we are talking of innovation, and in the previous speeches we had in the morning, it was really emphasized that we need to work for the future, not for the past. So a future and even a present without digitalization will not lead anywhere. A lot of marketings have been done, have been said, like digitalization is one and a quick win intervention. So another one is to build livelihood. Because when we say access to finance, financial inclusion, so we work with the principle of leaving no one behind, and from the smallest, the smallholder farmers. So I will have another opportunity maybe to go further in this. So those are the different approaches we use. In Rwanda, what we do as facilitator is we leverage from a wide range of stakeholders, partners, funders, global, so that to support the government of Rwanda plans and strategy in different strategic sector, especially the agriculture and the financial sector. So let me put it this, and then I'll...
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sylvie. Since you are a climate resilience expert, yeah, so we wanted to understand Coded's interventions towards integrating climate resilience or climate change adaptation and mitigation strategies to make communities more resilient to disasters. So what does Coded do in that area?
Yeah, thank you so much again. It's also an honor to speak here on the UNILAK platform, because being one of the alumni in their masters in the environmental studies, yes.
Nice.
So I would recognize, yes, the university for the knowledge instilled in me. So indeed, I'm a climate change expert. I've worked in different projects and even organizations on intervention regarding climate resilience. And especially with Coded, we have a portfolio of projects that we are working toward on the subject. So in Coded, we have one big project with the IUCN, which is an international union for conservation of nature. It's funded by Green Climate Fund, and we have intervention in the Eastern Province. So we have our intervention of twofold. We are intervening on the side, what we call demand side and supply side. So on the demand side, because we work on the financial inclusion and access to finance, in the demand side, we have smallholder farmers. Because I said we work with this from the smallest and the needy. So we start from identify the need of a farmer, especially regarding finance. So we don't provide like money, go and do this, but we build the capacity to access the finance. First is from a farmer approach, we first identify the first need is building that capacity. How do we do that? The first approach is saving group, and then we institutionalize the savings group into cooperative. And as I said, our approach is also to work with local partners. Like it's good also to be seated beside the RISEM, managing director. They are also our partner because as we work as facilitator, we leverage with on existing platforms. So RISEM is also one of our partners to build the capacity of the farmers and establishing well and legalized entities like cooperative. Then throughout that, as we build the capacity in governance and in leadership and other risk management, we approach the financial institution. And as you said, the farmers need, we can say that they are small. When you look at the big finance institution, we work with microfinance institution and the SACCOs. We have many of them, especially in the eastern, on our project of TREPA. We are working with SACCO in the whole eastern provinces to support them to build the capacity and have climate-sensitive financial products. This is through identifying what are the needs of farmers. Farmers need access to finance, but adapted to their needs. In the morning session, where we were looking on research papers, I shared the experience of looking on the needs of farmers, like seasonal loan. That's a specific product that is agriculture sensitive, but also climate sensitive. Like water collection tank, how do we adapt that product from the span of a loan of 1 year or 2 year repayment period, but we bring it to a need of the farmer. Like if we are approaching the dry season, sometime during the rain season they need tanks to retain water, but they can repay back after the harvest. So how our bank adapted to give a loan of 3 months that is adapted to the harvest season. So those are our interventions supporting financial institutions to adapt and have sensitive products either to farmers, but also to their way of working, and also to the farming side or smallholder farmers. We build their capacity using other platform and existing partners in the country to build their capacity on adoption of climate smart agriculture practices. So those are different approaches we are using under TREPA to build the resilience of the eastern. You know, it used to be a drought-prone area, but now it is one of our, I can say, one of our food provider in the country. So that's what I can share.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sylvie. You can appreciate her. Yeah, it's wonderful to hear that cooperatives are being supported, you know, for climate change mitigation, because climate change is a real issue. So we are happy to have institutions like CodeAid who are really supportive, and I believe that, you know, cooperative members present here, you understand where your support is located, yeah? So before we proceed with our other panelists, I want us to recognize the presence of Mr. Ndagijimana Aphrodis from Rwanda Cooperative Agency. You remember the deal? Yes, please welcome. Welcome on the panel. Thank you so much. We are honored to be together with our regulators. So, yeah, you can grab some water. I'm not going to ask you a question right away. All right. So, Mr. Silas, allow me to jump just a little bit because I am setting the pace. You know, we want to understand the situation of cooperative movement in Rwanda, yeah? And then I will come back to you to give us, you know, now a continental perspective. So, Mr. Fabien, I wanted to take a bit what I told you before, that this session is going to be held in English, but we can use any language as long as you feel comfortable in that language. So allow me to ask a question to Mr. Fabien in Kinyarwanda. Twashakaga kumenya icyo NCCR ikora kugira ngo ifashe amakoperative n'abanyamuryango bayo kugendana n'ibihe tugezemo. Ibihe bigenda bihinduka, hagenda haza ikoranabuhanga ndetse n'isoko rirahindagurika. ni gute mufasha amakoperative kugira ngo ashobore kugendana n'ibyo bihe adahungabanye, adahagaritse ibikorwa, adatakaje igihe ndetse n'amafaranga?
Murakoze moderator. Urugaga rw'amakoperative ariyo National Cooperatives Confederation of Rwanda bakunze kuvuga ngo ni umutaka w'amakoperative. Bishatse kuvuga ngo ni umbrella organization of all cooperative in Rwanda. Uwo mutaka w'amakoperative ugizwe n'amafederation nayo yagiye ajyaho ariko ashingiye ku cyiciro cy'ubukungu akoreramo. Ni ukuvuga ngo dushobora gusangamo federasiyo y'umuceri, federasiyo y'ikawa, federasiyo y'icyayi, federasiyo ya transport mwese muze RFTC, gutyo bitewe n'icyiciro cy'ubukungu buri koperative zikoreramo zigakora icyo bita federation. Iyo rero izo federation nizo zashyizeho National Cooperatives Confederation of Rwanda zigamije ko urwo rugaga rubafasha mu bibazo bitandukanye by'ubuvugizi bahura nabyo. Icyo nicyo cyari cyambere kugira ngo coordinating ibibazo amakoperative yose afite hanyuma rubavuganire. Ikindi cya kabiri kwari kubaka ubushobozi bw'amakoperative. Ngeze kuri icyo niho no gusubiriza ikibazo mwari mumbajije kirebana n'icyo urugaga nyarwanda rw'amakoperative rukora. Amakoperative ari hano yo aranyumva neza bidaciye muri translation ibyo urugaga rukora kugira ngo rubafashe, bamwe barabizi. Ariko urugaga rero iyo habonetse ibibazo bitandukanye hari ubuvugizi bushobora gutanga rwa kubaka ubushobozi. Ni ukuvuga ngo kugira ngo amakoperative yacu abeho, icyo urugaga nk'abanyamuryango bayo bari mu gihugu rukora, rugerageza kumva ibibazo byabo hanyuma rukabigeza mu zindi nzego zitandukanye za leta bitewe n'igiciro cy'ubukungu buri koperative zikoreramo. Nkurikije uko nabibasobanuriye, niba koperative ikora ari koperative iri mu ikawa, urumva ko amakoperative ari mu ikawa ashobora kuba afite ibibazo ahuriyeho. Ariko amakoperative y'umuceri nayo afite ibyabo bibazo bihuriyeho, ari iby'amazi, ari n'ibindi. Ariko niyo mpamvu bakoze iyo structure iteye gutyo kugira ngo ibibazo byose muri iyo value chain bakoreramo bibone ibisubizo. Kubirebana rero n'ibyo urugaga rukora kugira ngo mu guhanga udushya cyangwa se muri innovation, harimo yuko rufasha amakoperative mu ngendo shuri zitandukanye. Izo ngendo shuri rushobora kuzikora kubera ubuvugizi urugaga rwakoreye amakoperative mu nzego za leta, niba ari muri nayebu bitewe n'uko ayo makoperative ari muri bihingwa igihugu cyemeje cyohereza hanze, cyangwa se niba bitewe n'andi makoperative atandukanye akora muri serivisi. Icyo cyambere rero dukora uburyo amakoperative yigira ku yandi, haba mu Rwanda haba no hanze y'u Rwanda. Kugira ngo ibyo bigerweho bisaba ko NCCR yifashisha abandi bafatanyabikorwa batandukanye. Hashobora kuba leta, hashobora kuba NGOs ku bibazo bahuye nabyo, cyangwa se ku iyo innovation ikenewe gukorwa. Ibyo nibyo urugaga nyarwanda rw'amakoperative rukora. Murakoze.
Urakoze cyane. Ntarakurekura, uvuze ko mufasha amakoperative bitewe n'ibyiciro barimo, ariko cyane mubafasha gukemura ibibazo bahura nabyo. Ni ikibazo ndi bubaze n'undi muntu umwe, ariko ubona ari iki gitera ibyo bibazo? Sinshaka kuvuga ibyo bibazo cyane, ahubwo imizi yabyo ni ibihe, nk'abantu babakurikirana umunsi ku munsi kandi nk'abantu bashinzwe kubakorera ubuvugizi.
Murakoze. Ibibazo mu ngeri zitandukanye. Bimwe mu bibazo amakoperative afite bikomeye ni ikibazo cya mindset cyangwa se imyumvire. imyumvire y'amakoperative itarahinduka ngo bumve ko bari mu bintu bya business batari mu bintu biri muri social activities.
ni ukuvuga ngo bo bafite imyumvire ya social kurusha business.
Bamwe iyo ni imwe mu kibazo bafite, ikibazo cya mindset. Icyo kibazo cya mindset gifite amashami. Hari nko kuba koperative iriho ariko ugasanga abayobozi bayo nibo bonyine bazi iyo koperative. Nsubiye inyuma, koperative yigiyeho ubwayo bakayishinga bakayemeza ikabona ubuzima gatozi. Hari ubwo umuyobozi wayishinga bafatikanije kuyishinga nibo babaza amategeko niba ari y'ubuhinzi, umuturage kumubwira ngo amategeko koperative yacu nayangaye, ibyo ntabwo yibereye mu gishanga. Ni umuhinzi uri aho ngaho, we icyo azana umusaruro nta tegeko abazi. Urumva rero hagomba guhinduka imyumvire kugira ngo koperative zacu zigeraho zigera. Icyambere gikomeye cyane no guhindura imyumvire. Ikindi kibazo gihari gituma ibyo bibazo biboneka ni uburyo izo koperative zashinzwe, uburyo zashinzwe ubwazo. Hari umuntu ushobora kuza akavuga ati tujye hamwe dushyiraho koperative. Ubundi uko mubizi koperative abantu bishyira hamwe bagamije gukemura ikibazo runaka, niyo principe ya koperative. Ariko ndatanga nk'urugero, women for women, women for women ishobora kuvuga uti aba badamu bakorera aha ngaha baze dushyiraho koperative. Mu by'ukuri ntibiturutse kuri ku banyamuryango, kuri abo bantu biturutse kuri women for women. Igihe iyo koperative izaba iriho bazajya bavuga ngo koperative ya women for women, ntibazavuga ngo koperative y'abanyamuryango. Ibyo biriho hamwe na hamwe. Noneho ikindi murabona, niba mwibuka neza abanyarwanda turi hano, muzi ko dufite amakoperative y'abajyanama b'ubuzima. Ayo makoperative ari hirya mu gihugu y'abajyanama b'ubuzima ni politike ya leta yashyirishijeho kugira ngo abashe gucunga ibyabo. Ariko icyo baba bakeneye ubu ngubu ni uguhindura imyumvire, bakumva ko ibyo bintu ari ibyabo, mbere gukomeza kumva ko ari ibya centre de santé cyangwa se ibyabo minisante. Ibyo bibazo rero nibyo bituma koperative zigenda zigira gute zihura nazo, kubera ko imyumvire iri hasi y'abanyamuryango. Ikindi cya gatatu gikomeye ni finance capacity, ubushobozi. Kubera yuko kugeza ubu ngubu niba ndi gukora business, namwe murabizi hirya no hino, bisaba ko kugira ngo nunguke bisaba ko nashoye. Ninshora make nzunguka make, ninshora menshi nzunguka menshi. Amakoperative rero bijyanye na myumvire n'ubushobozi buke bituma haboneka ibibazo bigenda bitandukanye kugira ngo agere ku cyagomba kugera.
Urakoze cyane Fabien, rwose basabe bagushimire. I think I do not need to translate because you heard everything, right? So thank you so much, Fabien. Actually, what you have just said is taking me to my next question, to RCA. Yeah, Fabien mentioned some of the challenges and the factors that cause those challenges. And one of the major challenges is weak internal governance, within cooperatives. I remember Prof. Gabriel mentioned this morning that cooperatives in Germany are the most stable, right? Am I correct? They are stable. I do not want to say that cooperatives in Rwanda are not stable. No. I'm just saying that there are challenges. And one of them is weak internal governance. Yeah? And I think I can agree with most of the people here, right? So we have RCA here. We want to know what you do as regulators to really address these issues, among others. But before maybe you take on that, you can take us through what RCA does for more clarification for both, nationals and our colleagues from other countries who are present here.
Thank you very much. My name is Aphrodis Mbarushimana. I am an employee in charge of Research and Curriculum Development Officer in Rwanda Cooperative Agency. Rwanda Cooperative Agency is a public institution with the core mandate of registration and regulation of cooperatives in Rwanda. Basically, the institution is aimed to help the cooperatives through their registration from the first phases where people have a tendency of gathering together and then initiate the idea of becoming cooperative. We have legal department that is assisting them just to get the legal personality. After cooperative gain the legal personality, it just needs to be followed. We have a department called Cooperative Promotion and Capacity Building Unit that offers training, coaching, and these help the cooperative just to manage its financial assets and grow by also linking its growth with the national development agenda, but also following the rules governing cooperatives. The cooperative may have challenges related to financial management and other aspects related to its internal functionment. That's why we have the audit unit in Rwanda Cooperative Agents that is aimed to see how the cooperative properties are managed, whether they are managed according to the agreed ethics, according to the accounting principles, and check if there are any embezzlement types that are committed within a cooperative, so that to discover those embezzlement status and provide further recommendation. Rwanda Cooperative Agents has not only the non-financial cooperative, but also the financial cooperatives, SACCOs. Those are financial institutions that are settled in every sector, 416 Umurenge SACCOs, and beyond those Umurenge SACCOs, you have other type of SACCOs that are not linked to Umurenge. We have Umuganga SACCO, we have those SACCOs that have been agglomerated. We have that one called the Chirenga SACCO. We have different financial institution under which RCA is controlling. Basically, Umwarimu SACCO, yes, thank you for reminding. There are many activities in which RCA is aiming to follow up in its day-to-day life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aphrodis. Well, we cannot really exhaust everything about the cooperative movement in Rwanda, but if time allows, we will have another round of brief questions. But since we have a situation in Rwanda, I want to give the floor to Mr. Silas to now take us through AfriCOP. You tell us what AfriCOP does. You give us an overview of the cooperative movement on the continent.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Silas Mayo, Chief Chairperson of Africa Cooperative Consortium, or in short, AfriCOP, as it has been presented. Thank you very much for this opportunity to highlight who we are and what we are doing on the continent. AfriCOP was established in 2019, so it's not that old. From 2019, we work as a social impact partner on the continent under the benefit of the cooperative business model, reaching out to the communities on the ground so that they can be able to realize sustainable economic and social development. So that is what we do. Currently we are in, because we started 2019, we are in 17 countries so far on our continent. And I know with the time we'll be able to have reached in all the countries. But these 17 countries are actually in all the regions: West Africa, East Africa, North Africa. We have Central Africa, and then we have also South Africa. Perhaps before I say exactly what we do, allow me to, just for us to appreciate a delegation that we have come with. We work with other partners, so we work with the YSI, that is a Young Scholars Initiative. So jointly, we have been able to mobilize a delegation to come to this meeting, representing about 8 countries. Allow me for them just to stand up. I know we have people from Kenya.
Please stand up,
Yeah.
people from Kenya. Let's
Yeah.
recognize
I
people
have
from Kenya.
The president, my president is there. So we have Kenya, we have Uganda.
Uganda, where are you?
Tanzania team. Thank you very much. We also have Botswana. We have Cameroon with us. We have Nigeria. And as I said, we have the diasporan. A diaspora is an African who is outside the continent, and we have Professor Ibrahim from France. So thank you very much. So that is our network, and I know we wish to come many, but because of many other activities, others are engaged in other activities. So basically, what we do is our approach is basically based on actionable yet evidence-based solutions to the communities, trying to mobilize what is happening at the grassroots, what the cooperatives are doing in terms of getting to understand their success stories, so that we are able to bring them out. We know that innovation actually starts from the farm and not only in the lab on universities or campuses. So we go to the cooperative movement and the communities and be able to listen to success stories and also the challenges, so that one part of the continent may be having a challenge where a solution can be found in another part of the continent. And therefore, that is what we do. And we work by way of building the capacities of this cooperative movement in terms of the challenges they are facing. We also provide data-centric solutions on the research we do, so that we are able to get to the deep root of the challenges we couple with. And again, we highlight the various thematic areas that are key on the continent, some of which are including food and food security. We have gender and social inclusion. We also have finance inclusion. We also look at issues of, I've talked about gender. We also have issues of advocacy on issues of policy. And that is what we support also the government in driving the agenda by way of mobilizing our stakeholders or rather our partners to be able to front our agenda for the globe. We know that we have our unique in various countries, and this uniqueness has a positive in it, so that we can be able to learn from the uniqueness that is in Rwanda and what is in Nigeria, and see where is the synergy and how we can be able to address our homegrown. We can come up with a homegrown solution. Other continents have their consortium. We didn't have our consortium for Africa cooperatives. So therefore, it is good that we are able to organize ourselves and align to the consortium, so that we are able to build our network more and shout more what we are doing as cooperatives, so that we can be able to learn from one another. It is good practice that you learn from another by way of benchmarking, so that you can be able to address the challenges that you are experiencing. So that is what we do. You have said about the cooperative movement on the globe. I would say in other continents, they are way ahead of us, but that does not mean we are not doing anything. I want to appreciate that the cooperative business model on the continent, although old, but is also getting into the foot, addressing issues in the, even in our new other economical areas. For example, the blue economy, we have cooperatives aligned in the climate change issues. And indeed, the cooperative movement has been recognized by the United Nations and the International Labour Organization as a model that can be able to mobilize resources and even address the challenges on the continent, including infrastructure, issues of electricity, issues of health, and even mining and many other areas. So that is what we would appreciate on the continent, that we have those cooperative business model. The other one is a worker cooperative business model. You will understand that we are having a serious challenge on the continent on the issues of employment, youth employment or job creation. So cooperative business model has brought youth together in what we refer to as a worker cooperative model. So that if they are plumbers, if you are a plumber, it becomes difficult for you to look for a job, or you cannot tender as an individual. But when you organize yourself into a group, which is a cooperative, you can be able to have a tender as a plumber.